What gun is that? What gun is that? You cheating like a motherfucker.
Nigga always say I'm cheating, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Nigga, you just suck.
You cheating like crazy,
Said I'm
bro.
cheating because I killed you with a T821. Like, fuck going on, man? It's your boy Flavor Pack here. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a new hybrid build using the T821. Now, as you heard in the first clip already, this dude thinks that I'm cheating just simply because I'm able to sit here and do this. Granted, this guy wasn't probably the best player, but at the same time, you see how I'm able to just stand there and straight up tank damage. Reformation, you see it on the talent on the gun. I've been trying to tell you guys for a little minute now that I have been working on the build with the T821, but some people have not been listening. Some people, obviously, when it comes to these builds, when it comes to these talents, when it comes to these guns, you don't pay attention. So, as you can see in this clip right here, obviously, I am ADSing one person, but I'm obviously getting shot at by two other people. But I'm still able to just stand there and just tank the damage. You see my armor just dropped down crazy, went all the way back up. I dropped him. And this guy runs away right here because that's pretty much all he was doing was just trolling the whole entire time. But I need you guys to understand, like, hybrids allow you to do this. I don't understand why people are still getting confused and saying that I'm cheating. Look what I'm doing. Look, I shoot, I run away, boom, my armor goes back up. I stand there, I wait, I strafe, I see somebody ADS and boom. And then I strafe again, boom, my armor goes right back up, bro. Like, I don't understand the concept that you're not understanding. Like, this is how the build works, man. So, like I said, with the T821, yes, it's a slow rate fighter gun, but at the same time, it hits very hard. And the talent reformation allows you to pretty much enhance your hybrid build in terms of the heals that you output for yourself. So a lot of people don't read. Granted, okay, it is what it is, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of people need to start paying attention to the talents that are in the game. Now, this talent's been in the game since forever, but one thing that I wish that the devs would do in this game was pretty much go back to the original scheme of how builds were made when the game first came out. So when the game first came out, you pretty much had a talent on every single piece. If you go back and look at some of my old videos, like when this game first came out, bro, like essentially was like showing the blueprint of how like this game was going to play out in a sense when it came to skill builds. All other builds, I'm not going to say that, but in terms of skill builds, whether it was healer, hybrid, support, anything along those lines, I was giving people the blueprint, and pretty much that's how it all played out. Now, since they nerfed all of those talents, you know, it kind of made it a lot more condensed in terms of what you can pull off when it comes to using a hybrid build and actually being able to output damage while being able to survive. So I want you guys to understand that the T821, yes, is a very slept on weapon. A lot of people don't like this gun. You don't see a lot of people using this gun. I mean, me and Dev 1, I love this gun simply because it was the Midas and it debuffed your enemies whenever they shot back at you. Black market T821 at that. Now, I've had this gun, I've been lazy, so I know you're gonna be like, oh man, you didn't even fucking optimize everything. Look, bro, look. Mm, I got two kids. I hop on this shit to have fun, and this should pretty much tell you too. Like, I'm doing what I'm doing, and like the build isn't even like fully maxed out, so that should already kind of like be like, all right, if I invest into this, this will actually be a decent type of weapon to use. But again, this is a different type of lane. I know people don't really advocate for this gun, but I will. I've been using this gun for a while. Like I said, the uh, the Midas in Division One was a very slept on weapon, but it was very valuable as well too. So I mean, obviously we have essentially the Midas in the game with True Patriot, but you know that's a whole build basically. You don't have that with just a weapon. So I understand that people, you know what I'm saying, they don't really like hybrid builds, whatever the case may be. I understand that, but at the same time, you also have to understand that there are a lot of different build variations that can come from hybrid builds. You just have to really sit there and actually just tweak little pieces, tweak, uh, and I would say it really boils down to the roles that you get on your gear. You could have the pieces, but those roles are kind of essential if you're depending on what you're trying to do with the build. Me, I'm trying to output heals while at the same time, you know what I'm saying, making sure that I can output damage. Now, if I'm in a team setting, I do have hybrid builds built for a team setting. So again, I feel like a lot of people don't understand that the concept of this game is not to just make a build for yourself. The game is built around team-based synergy. And I've been said that since Div 1. I've made builds like that in Div 1, made builds like this in Div 2. And the way that my team plays, we've been playing with each other since Div 1. So it's like we already have that coordination. We already know how to, we like to try to use the builds that we want to play with, but a lot of you guys try us, so we're forced to use the meta in the sense of what we call, like we just want to shut it down. Like we ain't playing no games, and y'all usually see what happens, bro. We go manhunt, and granted, you know what I'm saying, I haven't been streaming like every single day, or you know what I'm saying, but at the same time, when I stream, y'all see this live on stream. You know, if I put on a sniper rifle, it gets wicked. But again, hybrids is my preferred playstyle. I like to play with hybrid builds. I like to be able to just run around and essentially play freely. You can run up to somebody, drop your heels, get right back into the fight, and essentially you know what I'm saying, they got to stop and reload because they just sat there and pretty much emptied the whole clip. Now you're doing the same thing. They don't have heals. They might have a catharsis mask, but essentially that's why I don't understand why people get so mad at hybrid builds when catharsis mask is essentially the same thing. Like you're self-healing yourself. So what's the difference between actually using a build that does it for you versus using one piece that does it and considering yourself comp just because you only get one heal off of a mask? But whatever. So again, you see the weapon here. Now, getting into the build itself, kind of got a little sneak peek earlier when I first clicked on the build, but going back to it, this is what I'm pretty much using for this build right here. Now, I have kind of already had a build like this uploaded, but again, if you kind of see the track record of how I like to do my builds, I usually tweak something. At some point in time, I wish that they would give us the 24 loadout slots because at least over half of my builds would pretty much just be hybrid builds. Um, I need to let people know that at the end of the day, like I said before, do your homework and essentially go back and see how what variation can work for you because this build itself may not work for you, but there may be a different hybrid build that you might actually be able to use. Now, like I said, the pieces matter because I've had Murakami on the chest piece for the longest. If it wasn't Murakami, then it was RNK. Now we have unit alloy. And if you've been paying attention to my videos, you see that I have been using obliterate for a lot of my hybrid builds. Now they have perfect obliterate. So granted, my rolls are shit, so I am farming for a different piece, but I already have one of the rolls that I want, which is crit chance. I just do not have repair skills, which is okay. But at the end of the day, the perfect obliterate, instead of getting 20%, now you get 24 stacks. And that makes a huge difference if you're using a hybrid build because again, you're trying to get as much output damage as possible. So with obliterate already, that already helped your build. So now the fact that you have a perfect obliterate, you're going to be able to hit a little bit harder. Now it's not like absolutely game changing, but at the same time, again, you see what I'm doing with the T821 with this. All those stacks, once I'm maxed out, it's like that gun hits very hard. It's kind of hard to recover from that damage. And then on top of that, the reload speed is extremely fast. So, you know, I don't know, man. You can make that decision up on your own. But like I said, I've changed around pieces because normally 511 isn't my mask, it is my glove. Um, and these two pieces pretty much stayed the same. And like I said before, we already know what the Bighorn does. Now, recently, since the quick step pistols came into the game, I do not use the card pistol as much. But if I know that I'm pretty much going to be like just standing stationary in one area and fighting, I will switch to the card pistol just to be able to get that extra skill tier. Now, You already see that I'm at 1-6 with 5 skill tiers. Um, we go to the heals itself. PvP ally repairs at 453,000. But again, the incoming repairs is what's going to actually make with the card pistol. Like I said before, it definitely helps you out in a situation because it gives you an extra skill tier. So when, let's say if I was to switch to it, now I have 6 skill tiers. We already seen that I was at 453,000. Now I'm at 497,000. That's a huge difference. So same thing with the hive. The hive goes up to 181. But you know what I'm saying? If I switch back, I pretty much lose about like 20,000. So it's at 164,000. So I don't care pretty much what anybody has to say when it comes to these hybrids. I have been beyond knee deep in hybrid builds for the longest time, skill builds for the longest time. So that's why in the last video, build video, I should say, um, I said that I would be, kind of not necessarily stepping away from hybrid builds, but I will just be showing you guys kind of like the other builds that I have put away, like on my second and third build, player, I should say, build. I'm thinking about 2K. Um, if you know what I'm saying, you really sit here and understand like how this game plays out, again, based off of team synergy, skill builds are going to be your best bet for enhancing your team's play because you got smart cover now. So if you have 5 to 6 tiers, skill tiers, so to speak, with the smart cover, you're going to give your teammates a lot of blue armor. And if you have somebody that's a glass cannon or like a tank on the team, you're going to be giving these guys like 2 million armor. So, it just plays out based off of your team synergy. Our team synergy, we have a lot of different play styles that we can play with, and that's what makes our team so deadly. Because at the end of the day, we can switch it up. Our team is extremely versatile. We're not just one lane. You know what I'm saying? We're able to switch and adjust to any type of combat situation that we're in. That's what makes us so great. That's what I would say makes me a good player because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who I'm fighting, I can adjust to the situation. If I come in there with this build right here and let's say you decide you want to go 4 skill tiers, you want to pull out the EMP or whatever the case may be, I have a different hybrid build that would it not necessarily cancel out the EMP, but if you EMP me, I wouldn't really panic about not having heals because my armor would be coming back anyway. So this is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Like, there's a counter for everything. If you think you're going to counter one hybrid build, I can change hybrid builds. If you're looking to just try to burn through the armor that I have, I can go to 2 million armor and get all the damage that I'm, what I'm saying, still getting, but just have more armor and just have less skill tiers. So it just depends on how I want the situation to play out. So again, if you guys want more hybrid builds, man, just let me know. But if not, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I definitely will still be uploading them, but I will be stepping more into like a skill build, you know what I'm saying? Like team support, actual damage, just different type of builds that showcase different types of play styles because at the end of the day, my name is Flavor Pat, bro. There is nothing about me that says, hey, like he just does one thing. Like you guys see that I'm wicked with a sniper rifle. You know what I'm saying? In the last video that I just uploaded, I know people are still waiting on that build video. Like, hey, I can actually sit there and do damage. You think that I'm killing people with a hybrid build, and then you think if you give me actual damage, that I'm not gonna melt people? You're crazy. But I digress. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.